Hello, good people. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Relationships Unpacked with the Trio. It's your girl Tate with nothing but some good vibes. Today, as usual, I'm with Sarah, the man himself, the relationship coach.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
And I got the man who is the data, the statistics, and the everything. Sir DM.
Yeah, Tate, how are you doing?
I'm so good.
Yeah, so excited.
I know you guys are so ready to build some good memories with the world.
Definitely.
I welcome you guys because we are ready to build some good memories.
Uh-huh.
So today we are going to be talking about a very sensitive topic. This topic is something that everyone is not ready to talk about. Can you marry someone who has a child that is a single dad, a single mom? Can you do that, Sarah Russell? What's your understanding?
I would do that. Now, the reason why I'm saying I would say I would do that is there is no law or there is no pre-assumption that a married or somebody who has a child has got certain defaults as opposed to somebody who hasn't had a child. So I value and see people regardless of what they have been through. Now, because I might not understand the background that they carry that led them to have a child. So in front of me, somebody who has a child and somebody who doesn't have a child, they are all the same. Though there are different factors around these two people because of the responsibility that they have. But basically, there's no blemish on a person who has a child. And I don't see them differently. I don't view them differently. As long as we agree and we have an understanding of what we want in the relationship, then yeah, we can proceed in the relationship.
According to people in Chitungwiza, to be specific, a person who has a child automatically is a harlot. Automatically, before I even know your story, you are a prostitute. Yeah. I don't want to know your story. I don't want to know where you're coming from. I don't know where you're going. But the moment I see you, exactly. That's the way people are viewing each other here. So the first thing that comes in my mind is like, I have a child. Who will marry me? Because everyone will be like, you have a child, you are a suspect.
Yeah.
It's either you had the child because you were jollering around, you were going around partying and all that. But then it's a wrong idea because there are people who were raped for them to be mothers. Not everyone chose to be a mother. Maybe it was something that happened unexpectedly, but mistake.
Maybe they even got married and they divorced or the guy ran away.
Yeah, it happens.
With someone else.
But I beg to differ. There are people who say, it happened by mistake. Mistake. It doesn't happen by mistake.
Yeah.
So the people who play the blame game and start blaming the other people for, giving them children. I blame those. But I would marry someone who has a child.
Okay.
Like some of them have the experience of how it feels to be a father. So they will know how to treat my child better than a person who's random from the street. Someone who's like, I've never been married. I don't have a child. I've never been there, scared of.
Though, are you ready to take the burdens or the pressure that comes with having the responsibility to have somebody who has a child? Now, because this is not just an easy road of him being able to be a good father to your children. Also, you have the responsibility to be a good mother to the children that they have. And then most of the times, you're not the one who raised them, and you're not the one who gave birth to them. So they usually present challenges. Now, stepchildren usually present challenges according to the general notion. So the question is, are you ready to then nurture somebody who's coming from a different background and they've got a different expectations? You know how they have this notion of saying that this woman has caused my father to separate with my mother, or she's coming to replace my mother, something like that. So are you able to handle that?
Yeah, I can. I'm able to do that. So the problem with other women is they fail to remove the step part of the child. Like, you can't call the child stepchild. Remove the step part and remain with the child.
But it's not as easy as we are saying.
It's as easy as long as you have a positive mind. Because let me tell you, on my case, I grew up with most of the times, after my mother, I was always with my stepmom. And I lost my dad 7 years ago, but if I'm to tell you that me and my stepmom are like this, I feel like I'm so free to tell her anything. She's my mother. She removed the step part and became my mother. If I'm to encounter anything right now, if I'm to face anything, she's my go-to. She's my safe space because she became my mother. If you see me talking to her, like calling, telling her secrets and stuff like that, you think that she's my biological mother. There are people up to date who do not know that she's not my real mother because she removed the step part.
That's what we call a mother.
Exactly. So the moment you think that, you tell yourself that I'm a stepmother, I'm going to treat her like I'm a stepmother, that's where the problem starts. But as long as you accept her as your child,
I think it's an element of if you are a bad mother,
you are just bad even to your kids.
You're actually bad to your kids. So here is the thing. If you're bad to your kids, now your kids have got nowhere to go. They will just make you assume their position. But this child has got a choice. Bear in mind, the child has got a choice.
Yeah.
To actually say that I'm not going to accept you as my mother. I'm not going to accept him as my father.
Yeah.
Now, so automatically, if you are a bad mother, if you are a bad father, then you will definitely face challenges if you want to marry somebody who has a child.
Yeah.
So the question is, are you a good person? Are you a good mother or are you a good father before you get into that marriage? Because if you don't fix that, let me reassure you that there will always be challenges. So the most question that we should ask ourselves is when dating somebody who has a child or wanting to get married to somebody who has a child, is to ask ourselves, can I be a good mother, or have I acquired enough information for me to be a good mother to their child, and also to the pressure of my child that is going to come, who's going to be in the setup as well, because there are going to be two different people in the house. So the responsibility is there, your child and their child, trying to balance the two as well. So now it causes so much on you. So that's why many people are facing challenges and are being affected by the element of, oh, he has a child and all that. The question is, are you a good mother already or not? It's not that the fact that they have a child. Because if the child is misbehaving, you need to be able to have that tenacity, or rather that backbone, in order for you to handle that child, to usher them to a position where they actually come back in track. So it requires for you to be automatically a good mother prior to you meeting the person who has a child. Because the step element mother, you know how step people they treat people like this, they treat people like this. Those are just bad mothers. Let's be honest with each other.
Yeah, you're right.
Because even if you get your child, there are people who are so bad with their child.
Toxic parents thinking.
Toxic parents. And then so if you then get somebody's child, so how are you going to treat them? Because you've got an option to actually denounce them and say, no,
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
So I've noticed recently, maybe like 6 years now, it's been happening a lot, where we have a new wave of alpha males who take or view ladies with their kids as damaged goods. Like someone who has a kid, she's definitely a damaged good. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's an issue of responsibility. So many men run from responsibility unless they're cornered. We don't want to assume the role of responsibility. Many men don't want to take responsibility. I'll give you an example. We want to be responsible to a certain degree.
Yeah, you're right.
We don't want to be fully responsible to our children, even if they are biological children. You see, the mother handles the children much. And he hears the feedback of how the children are being handled. He does not want to spend the whole day with them. No. Go to your mother and spend time with them. So that's his responsibility. So most men do not have the ability to be responsible already inside of them. So they're running away from responsibility. So when they say this person is a damaged good, all they are trying to say is, I don't want to be responsible for her child, for the things that come with the child, for the child who is not mine, who might be misbehaving, to have the patience to deal with this nonsense of the child who is not even mine. Because I don't have the tenacity or actually the time to deal with the child who's mine, who's misbehaving. So at the end of the day, they will conclude that they are broken goods because they don't want to take the responsibility of actually saying exactly. So when you take somebody as damaged goods, it's because you do not have the ability to actually make them so that they will become a better person. So if you have the ability inside of you, nothing is really broken. it's work in progress.
Okay. So that's, you remember that the time when I said broken crayons still color?
Yeah.
It just depends on who the artist is.
Whoa.
You can be a better artist. You can be a very bad artist. You can be a very good artist. So if I'm to give you broken crayons, you can color something very colorful and something very beautiful.
Yeah.
But if you are a bad artist, you won't make it. So broken crayons still color. They are still as colorful as the new ones. It just depends on the person who's holding them.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's very good.
Okay. You said something about being responsible. A lot of men are running away from responsibilities. That's why we have single mothers. Like I said the other time, I said kuna munhu anomitiswa asingaziye. Unonge uchitiri kuwedzerwa ropa here kana kuti unonge uchitiri kuwedzera munhu ropa here. There's nothing like amitiswa nemistake. You had planned it. You had it in your head and then you did the action yourself. No one forced you. And now she's pregnant. She has a baby. You are running away from responsibility. That's why we're having these DNA shows and stuff like that. It's because a lot of men are not taking responsibility of what came from them. You understand? A lot of men are not ready to be called fathers. That's why we have a lot of single mothers. And now they are now broken. You're now calling them broken crayons. Of course, she's a broken crayon because one of your brothers broke the crayon. The crayon was bought and it was new.
But should I be the one to take over from?
Okay, here's the thing. You need to think of yourself as the other person who broke the. Okay, why did you go for the broken crayon when there are new crayons in the shop? You went for the broken crayon because you wanted it. You liked the color. You couldn't find a better color on the new crayons. And then it's better to marry someone who has a child because you can see the child. You can literally see that she can conceive. She can give birth. What if she's barren? Okay, let's not talk about that one. What if she doesn't have a child, not because she never got pregnant, but because she deleted everything. She erased all the evidence that she once had sex. The one thing about life is you can't unsex a person. If you have had sex, then you have had it. Maybe she got pregnant and she aborted or something, and she didn't know. She never made you know, but then deep inside she knows that I'm a broken crayon. Just that you don't know. You don't know about it. So it's actually better to marry someone who has a child
Because the evidence is
there. Evidence is there. The exhibit is there.
It's rather relative or subjective what you were saying, and I know there are many people who would agree with what you were saying. And then on the other hand, I'm sure it's of paramount importance. If you want to make the decision, I would want to help people to see them beyond their past, to see somebody beyond their past. Now,
that's very good.
I need to be able to relate with you now, because now is what you have grown into. Right? Because
not your past.
Understand that some of the times all these pregnancies that we're having are a result of misconception.
Thank you.
Immaturity and miscalculation in most of the
times.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that from that end, we need to understand that in the moment of it, the heat of it, we both agree, and we are all happy about it, but we do not foresee the dangers of them. So most men are freaking out, like you were saying. They freak out at the result of knowing that she's actually pregnant. So he's thinking now about responsibility, what he should have thought of prior. So it calls for the men also to think before whatever they do, and also for the woman to actually prevent, because it's also the responsibility of women to then calculate. So we should be educating our girls to then understand that it goes beyond just sleeping with each other and having fun.
Yeah.
You have result at the end of the day. So if you are on the prevention side, we will be able to have a generation which is not having babies early or having unplanned babies, because you guys are on the prevention side. You're saying, no, I'm not going there, because I know that you're going to leave me, because the trail or the history has proven that I'm the one who's going to be left with the child.
Yeah.
So girls need to wake up. It has been happening for generations.
Wake up,
so
ladies.
We cannot keep on complaining and saying, they're running away. You need to be conscious about your future before you engage in anything. So I believe we need to then say, what happened. That's fine.
Yeah.
But let's see where you are right now in your life. And if I want to build my marriage, I want to build based on that. Understanding. I know there's a child who might bring complications. I know there's a child who might be an added responsibility. So am I able to handle that with you? That's an addition that you bring. Because some of them have children, and to other person who doesn't have a child, they've got parents who are like the children, who are the responsibility the moment they should marry them. They've got brothers around them, sisters around them, who are automatically assuming the role of their children, even if they do not have children. So it all comes with the responsibility from different angles. You are going to just marry somebody with responsibility already. They are going to be responsible for something. So in your head, you just have to fix your head and see the child as somebody that you need to take care of, which is just similar to the parents, which is just similar to the sister or the other person. Now the problem, because we say the child is always around, because we cannot denounce the child, we also cannot denounce the family to a certain point. We also cannot denounce the sisters they're supporting to a certain point. So what's wrong with the child? Now we escalating something that should not be escalated. We should just look beyond and say, this is a child who's going to be always there. So I'm going to love them and also try to do my best to connect with this child, because you might not connect with this child instantly. Sometimes with your stepmother, it happened instantly, and that was good. I mean, but in other cases, it doesn't happen instantly. You need to have the patience, or to actually say, we might not even connect, but let's agree on other things for the child's benefit, so that the child will grow. So you need to look beyond that and then perceive that in that way. So that's what I think about the subject.
I want to add on to something that you said earlier. I think sex education should be taught in schools. Because a lot of women out there are giving birth at early ages because maybe they are lacking exposure, they are lacking the important information, they are lacking, the contraceptives and whatnot. Most women need to know that it's okay to say no, I don't want to have sex when you're in a relationship. It's okay to say I want to have protected sex. There's nothing wrong about that, because the child is going to be your responsibility. The child is going to be there in your life, whether you like it or not, from today up to forever. You understand? So you need to know that before having a child, you need to have planned children. It's very nice for you to be like, you know what? I'm in a relationship with you, but I don't want to have sex now. Can we at least wait for some time? And then maybe when the time is right, you have a child with someone who's very responsible. Maybe you might not be married with that person. Maybe you are finding it difficult to sort out your differences. Then you'll be like, I will keep the child. I'm not aborting. Then you give birth, and then the man takes over. He takes care of the child. Even if you are to marry someone, let's be honest here. The main reason why most men can't live with a person who has a child is because they are scared of being responsible of someone else's child. You understand? So if I'm to have a child with you and you're responsible, you're taking care of the child even if you're not married, Russell will not hesitate to marry me, because he'll be like, the man takes care of his child, so it won't be my problem. It won't be my hassle to be taking care of this child a lot. You understand? So before you have sex with a person, just having normal sex, like I know you guys have normalized having sex before marriage, which is not my problem or your problem, but because of the era that we're in. Before you even start having sex with someone, please look at that person closely and see if he's going to be responsible in the future. Because just think of yourself being pregnant. Like, imagine it before having sex. Imagine yourself. And stop thinking using your waistline or using your feelings. Like, it's pointless, because a child is a lifetime responsibility. Before having sex, look at the person deep in the eyes and see if he's going to be a responsible father. Because responsible fathers are what we need. We don't want people who look good when you post them on your status. We want people who look good when we have problems. We want people who look good financially when we need support. Not people who are nice, fancy and all that. People you can post. No, you don't need that.
We're about to cue somebody. Thank you very much for watching this wonderful episode, and we have unfortunately run out of time. Thank you for watching, and if you are undecisive about this topic, I'm sure we have helped you to some degree, that you can see beyond the person having a child and build something meaningful. That may be a testimonial to you that I found them with a child, but look at us. We have actually grown into a wonderful, big, happy family. So it is not the end of the world if you find somebody with that stat, and they are not something that you should take as damaged goods or that they are with blemish. They are just as other girls, if they are a young lady who has a child, or if they are a young man who has a child. Now, so thank you for watching from us. We are. Peace.